I'm not the same fighter I was 2 years ago. I'm not the same fighter I was 5 years ago. I lost a step. I used to have a 90% knockout ratio. It's obvious I slipped somewhere. When you look at myself and Conor McGregor on paper, he's taller, he has a longer reach. He's a bigger man from top to bottom. He's a lot younger, so youth is on his side, and I've been off a couple of years, and I'm in my 40s. So if you look at everything on paper, it leans toward Conor. Shannon?
Shannon?
What do you make of Floyd's comments?
What do you make of Floyd's comments, Shannon?
I make of Floyd is trying to sell this fight. He realized that ticket sales are lagging, Skip. Now, we don't know what the pay-per-view buys are going to be. We won't know that information until after the fight. But we do know this. There are a lot of tickets available for this fight. Now, he's got to convince the people that this fight will be different than all the 49 other fights that he's fought. Everybody knows that Floyd Mayweather is a defensive fighter. He's arguably the greatest defensive fighter of all times.
Yeah.
So in order for him to convince people that this will be different, he has to give the people give them something that they can believe, that Conor McGregor can actually beat Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I'm 49-0, but he's a bigger man, top to bottom, longer reach, he's younger. I hadn't knocked out someone in a very long time. He good, he this and that. Skip, you and I both know Floyd Mayweather would not have taken this fight if he thought for 1 second he could possibly lose. Because that 49-0, he fought Berto, Skip. He had no business fighting Berto. But he wanted to be 49-0. He wasn't going to fight anybody that could have a chance because his whole thing was getting to 49-0. Rocky Marciano, the great heavyweight champ, was 48-0. He's the only fighter to fight and end his career undefeated. And that's what Floyd wanted. Now, Floyd now wants a nice round number. It's a big payday. I mean, this fight would have been hard to turn down, but he could have got a big payday fighting Golovkin. He could have fought Triple G. Could have made him probably about $50, $60 million, but not at that risk, not at this record's risk. You and I both know Floyd has fought one way for 49 fights. That's to get in a defensive stance, and when you come at him, he'll pick you off. Now, if he feels he's behind, he will up the tempo somewhat. But more times than not, Floyd is not going to take any chances. That's not what he does. He's a counterpuncher. He'll pull you in, you shoot, he throws over the top, or he comes underneath. That's what he does, Skip. Now, you like, oh, yeah, Floyd. That's right, Floyd. Come at him. And while you're at it, be wearing 4-ounce gloves. As a matter of fact, let's just don't even have on any gloves. Just bare knuckle like old street. And as a matter of fact, let's just go behind. We don't need to fight the MGM Grand.
Yep.
Let's go behind the MGM Grand and just fight, just slug it out. That's what you want to happen, but it's not. And even though I do not believe Floyd will take this fight to him, I don't believe Floyd believes he had a chance, that Conor McGregor has a chance to beat him. He gonna beat the brakes off Conor McGregor. And you know what? I'm gonna love it, and you gonna hate it.
You know, the first mistake you just made is Conor McGregor doesn't have any brakes on him.
Yeah,
there are no brakes on that guy.
Yeah, he does.
He's got no edit button, no brakes.
Well, he should stop. What happened how did he start when Nate Diaz got him? The first fight against Nate Diaz.
Speaking of fighting a bigger man, a guy who outweighed him by, I'm going to guess, 40 pounds and had, 5 inches of reach on him and got him on the ground. It's called wrestling, sumo-style wrestling, and he just pinned him. He pinned him.
Oh, how did he get him on the ground? He put them things on him first to knock him down, and then
he didn't knock him down. He got a hold of him and dragged him down.
Yeah.
See, this is MMA fighting. This is UFC. All of a sudden, Conor gets to do what Conor has always done very best, what he did against Nate Diaz the second time around when he said, I want him soon. I want him now. When obviously Dana White is saying, you can't do this. It's too quick to fight him. He said, no, I want him now. And he got him now because he stood up in the octagon the whole fight and he punched him into submission, just the way he will punch Floyd.
He didn't punch him into submission.
Yes,
he won a split decision, Skip. It wasn't unanimous.
It was...
I mean, a majority decision.
It was convincing. He outboxed Nate Diaz, a much bigger, much longer man, and he rocked him and knocked him down numerous times.
He outboxed a guy that doesn't box by profession. Okay.
Much bigger man.
What that got to do with it, Skip?
You know, back to Floyd Mayweather Jr., you know what? I have learned a long time ago, don't believe a single word that comes out of Floyd's mouth. That was the biggest bunch of phony baloney I have ever heard. I don't know what is he. It was like a mix of Don King and Bob Arum trying to hype the fight, by a guy in Floyd who's not much of a huckster and hypester. He's not very good at it. So it comes off as just glaringly insincere and inauthentic. He's trying to hype a fight, as you point out, that the ticket sales are a little slow because they're so expensive. I think it will pick up as we get closer to August 26th.
Well, we might need to pick up our tickets now while they're on the cheap end.
Yeah, maybe. I hope we don't have to buy our tickets for this one.
Stop being cheap, Skip.
Yeah, stop being cheap? Well, I just save my money, unlike somebody else.
You spend it on due.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one question before you continue to go? You don't believe Floyd is going to take this fight to Conor, and you don't believe that Floyd believes that Conor has a chance to beat him, but you did believe Floyd when he said he wanted to fight Conor in 4 ounces or 8 ounce gloves, correct?
Well, that was just a dare. That was like an open challenge. Didn't he put it on, help me out, Instagram?
Well, hell,
didn't he like type it? He typed it and put it out there for all to see. Let's wear 8 ounce gloves. I'm going to have to take that as his printed word as a challenge.
Well, he just
do it.
He was telling you what he's going to do and how Conor McGregor can beat him. So you don't take a man at his word, but you take him at his typed word.
That was a dare, but it was a phony dare. It was a fake tough guy dare because you know and I know the Nevada State Boxing Commission rules are 154 is 10 ounces.
10 ounces.
Period, end of story. And I told you, this is different. This is a hybrid fight. This is MMA and boxing. And the purse strings are controlled by one Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
The biggest draw in the history of Las Vegas. I just said a mouthful there because he is the biggest draw in the history.
Say it, I want you to say this.
This is going to be the biggest event in the history of an event town, right?
Well, say this. He's the A side. Say it.
The A side is the global draw that is Conor McGregor. That's why Floyd could command whatever he wanted. If he said tomorrow, fight's postponed if we don't wear 8 ounce gloves, what do you think Nevada would do? What do you think Las Vegas would do? They'd say, okay, take it elsewhere. Baloney, they would.
Skip, you don't
take it to Madison Square Garden. Baloney.
Skip, you don't want to start that precedent. Skip, here's the thing.
You're just protecting him.
No, I'm not. Skip.
Poor little Floyd. This is brittle hands. He's got arthritic hands. Skip, he does.
Skip, this is not Rocky versus Thunder Lips. This is a real fight. Somebody resume. Now, Floyd wants to be 50-0, or Conor's going to be 0-1 in his boxing career. This is what's going to happen. This is not Muhammad Ali and Gorilla Monsoon. You actually think this is a joke. This is for real.
I don't know the Rocky movies. Forgive me.
Oh, you
I saw the first one, but I wasn't.
Well, Hulk Hogan was
Thunder Lips. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, Thunder Lips with Hulk Hogan.
I'm sorry. You got me in there.
He's a wrestler, though.
I do real stuff, but go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, You know what? I love wrestling. I grew up on wrestling.
Did you really?
Yeah, I used to go to it all the time. My grandpa used to take me and my brother.
Did you know it was not real, or?
I tell you what, you better not have said that to my grandma. See,
my
grandfather, because I saw him throw plenty of people out the house when they say it's not real, Barney.
Okay.
He said, well, you get to what at my house.
I respect that. Okay, so back to Floyd. So he's trying to do this phony baloney huckster hypester, and it was the biggest bunch of poor-mouthing I've heard since Nick Saban was trying to sell the media a year ago on how tough their games were going to be against Kent State and Chattanooga. Remember that?
Yeah.
You hear Nick at his press conference saying, oh, they're a tough football. They're deep, and they got a lot of skill. And baloney. So here's the irony of everything Floyd said yesterday. He was just trying to hype the fight.
Yeah.
But the truth was, the unwitting truth was, and I'll be the only one who will say this, but he was actually predicting his own demise because I'm buying everything he said, even though he was just trying to sell it. But you got it. Listen, every point he made was the blueprint for why Conor McGregor has a great shot in this fight because, as Conor said in all the 4 media sessions, Floyd, you're too little, right? Mm-hmm. And there was a great quote in ESPN, the magazine, the other day, a piece that just came out, and one of Conor's great quotes is that if you tell the truth about somebody, they will crumble. That's what he believes about life. If you just look them right in the eye and tell them the flat-out truth that just penetrates to their soul, they will crumble.